dying young, I see the light go past my shoulder on one less day. From dying young, I see my life.
It's time for the Answers on Aging program with Sarah Scott and Todd Watley. A program to help seniors know all about the services available in Northwest Arkansas and beyond. The show focuses on how to make seniors enjoy the fullest opportunities in our region. If you're a senior or know a senior, you can call in with your questions or comments about Sarah or Todd.
Hey, I still get to do jokes, right?
I guess, Sarah.
That and more here on Answers on Aging, plus many special guests. Now your hosts of Answers on Aging, Todd and Sara.
All right. Good morning, Northwest Arkansas. This is the Answers on Aging radio show, and as always, my name is Todd Watley, and I am here on a pretty beautiful Wednesday. It's not cold, so that's good, and my co-host, the beautiful Sarah Scott, does not like cold weather, so she's pretty happy anytime it's not cold. Good morning, Sarah.
Hey,
how are you?
Todd, thanks. I'm happy, like you just said, that it's not cold. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Tommy? How the heck are ya?
Oh, pretty good. Just, I'm a boxer now, you know.
I know.
What do you think of that jaw?
That's pretty fierce.
All right.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay.
I am. I am.
Tell people what happened?
Oh, yeah, they all know.
Okay.
I got bit by a dog in the face, and we'll leave it there.
You need
going
to,
through your throat,
you
man.
need to come around at some point during the show and get in the Facebook
All right,
feed so
I'll
they
come
can
over
see.
there so we can remember in
See
history. Because I haven't taken any pictures. I should have taken one Sunday morning when I woke up after all
Yeah.
this.
Goodness.
Anyway, I'm good. You all look good, and away we go.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Welcome, everybody. This is Sarah Scott and Todd Watley with the weekly fabulous radio program, Answers on Aging.
We think it's fabulous.
Yeah, it is.
We're stars in our own mind. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. You can, though.
Okay.
And you just did.
I just did.
So, yeah, we are just happy to be here today. Glad that you're able to join us, and would like to just, if this is your first time, let you know our program is all about educating the listeners on various topics related to aging and our senior community. That could be anything from, I don't know, elder law. You know a thing or two about that, Todd?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, a little
general.
bit. Yeah.
Just kind of, just enough to be dangerous.
Thanks.
I kid. And then senior care navigation, I do that. We've talked a lot about nursing home stuff and different levels of care and different types of resources out in the community that are right here to learn all about, because we have guests on the show from time to time, as often as we can, and would love to get your suggestions if you've had a good or maybe a bad experience lately with something related to the aging process, and you think, hey, if I would have known this before I walked into it, it would have gone a lot smoother,
Yeah,
or at least I
understand.
could know what to, how to prepare. So give us a call. We love feedback in any type from you, our listeners. So the best way to do that is by calling 636-7979 or 1-800-767-7979. We are also streaming live on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Who have we got?
Donna Rose is back.
Dina.
Dina. Yeah.
Dina. Hey, Dina.
She's been gone for a little bit. Phil Stevens, as always.
Is Mom there?
I don't see her name. If you're there,
Let us know.
please.
Definitely let us know if you're tuned in on Facebook as well, because I take count excuse me, every week of how many calls and questions that we get, and I count the Facebook questions. So, and I like to get a lot of marks and a lot of tallies, more and more each show.
Yep.
So, please don't hesitate to ask a question, even if it's about something that we've covered in a previous show. We want to hear from you. So just type in a question or give us a call. And we also have a podcast.
I know. I was just about to bring that up to say I think all of our podcasts are good, decent,
Yeah.
at least. Today's I'm really excited about because we have a guest, and these people have done a really good job. They're kind of like us. I mean, they've lived it. They've lived it in their families. Firsthand. It's a husband and wife team who were journalists. She was a TV journalist, I guess the news, and he was a sports journalist, and I guess that's, well, no, they met back in college. So anyway, they both did that, and now they have a
Facebook group.
Yeah, Facebook group and a website called Parenting Aging Parents. And it's a really good Facebook page, and all of you on Facebook, I encourage you to go there and like their page because there's a lot of good information there, and they are trying to get more and more people in their group. But we interview them, and they talk about their firsthand experience of dealing with their parents, and they're just very well-spoken and a fun couple, and they want you to like their Facebook page and
Join
their website.
We have a call.
Hallelujah. Hey, caller, thanks for calling. What can we do for you?
Yes, I need the number for the how to get a hold of the House of Three for a family member.
You got it. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, if you want to hang up and keep listening, it's going to take
that's
just
fine.
1 second.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
You bet.
Yes.
Thank you.
By the way, we did a podcast on House of Three.
We sure did.
Where we interviewed him. And so you can go to our podcast website. It's answersonagingpodcast.com. Or if you have a smartphone, you probably have a podcasting app, and you can just go to that podcasting app, put in Answers on Aging, and then it will let you scroll through all of our 60-plus episodes, and one of those is House of Three, and we interview him and talk about it. So, phone number.
So Shane Edwards is the name of the gentleman Todd was just referring to, and you can reach him at 479-270-9975 for House of Three. We have another call.
Say that one more time. Just to be
Okay.
clear.
479-270-9975.
Good deal. Thank you, Sarah.
I was about to say it in Spanish, but we don't have that enough time.
All right.
It'd take me a
I
minute.
think we have another phone call, do we?
Do we? Yay.
Okay. All right. Hey, caller, thanks for calling. What can we do for you?
Yes, I missed yesterday or the day before on there. I wrote down a lady that had a new 4-foot Kubota bush hog.
Whoops.
This isn't a dollar trade, sir.
Hey, we'll get to you on another line there, sir.
Hold on just 1 second, okay?
Yeah.
But wait, do you have any questions for related to aging or elder law or nursing home stuff?
No.
Are you sure? Do you have powers of attorney in place?
No what?
Do you have powers of attorney in place?
Do I have them?
Yeah.
Well, I do, yes.
That's wonderful.
Good deal.
Good job.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Keep up
Have
the
a good
good
day.
work.
Hold on. Tommy will be right with you.
Yeah, we'll get to you. Did good, Sarah. Let's try
Tried.
this one.
I
How about this caller? Do you have a question or comment for our program? They're listening.
Yes, I do. I called in the other day and asked him about the Advantage plan over the plan that's advertised. I think it's D plan.
Sure.
And I checked my insurance, or I had somebody check it, and I have a HMO. Now, is that equal to the Advantage plan, or how does that work?
Yes, it is. When you have an HMO, you have an Advantage plan, which
I've got the HMO.
Okay.
It don't say anything about the Advantage plan. I was just wondering, is it the same thing?
Yes, it's the same thing.
Oh, well, I feel better.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Have a good
you.
day.
Bye-bye.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they will cover whatever comes up, okay? You know, be sure and stay within their network when you go to your doctors, hospitals, whatever. But yeah, the benefit of the Advantage plan is it's all taken care of, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah.
And you generally don't have to pay very much, if anything, per month for that. So, all right, today's topic is something that we get all the time in the office. People are very confused when they come in to see us, and so we're assuming that probably you, our listener out there, is a little bit confused on this. And it is something that may not affect you today, but it is something that you need to know and keep in that old noggin of yours, so that if someone asks, or if a situation comes up later on, you're like, hey, I know the answer to this because I listen to the Answers on Aging radio show.
And I know my stuff.
And that is the different levels of care, okay? When you start thinking about getting out of your home and going somewhere, it's not, you don't just go to a nursing home, okay? People think, okay, there's a facility out there, it's got older people, it's got nurses, it's got
a rest home.
A rest home, yeah, you know, all kinds of things. And so you think you just go in, you know, we have sometimes arguments with people who are adamant that, no, this place is a nursing home. No, it is not.
Yeah.
It is not a nursing home. It does not take Medicaid. And so therefore you've got to do something different. And so today's show, we want to talk about the different levels of care, because this is important, because many times a person may need way less care, and way less care costs way less money.
Yeah.
Okay? And so we're going to help you save some money and just get the care that you need, as opposed to just falling into some, you know, whatever. Okay?
Yeah. We'll dive into that as soon as we take this call. Hey, good morning. How can we help you today?
Hello?
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 Hey,
There you are.
I can hardly hear you. What happened?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay,
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Great.
Great.
Hey, I got a question for you guys, and hello to everybody. I'm curious, why are they pushing a Medicare Advantage so hard? I mean, every commercial comes on. You got Joe Namath, and you got that other joker on there.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Can you tell me that?
Sure.
They've got lots of money to spend on advertising. That's
Well,
why.
okay, so just so everybody understands, when an Advantage plan is an insurance company has a contract with Medicare to say, hey, we will take on this person, and Medicare says, fine, we don't have to deal with them anymore, you deal with them, and Medicare pays them a flat dollar amount. And so it's the company's goal to get as many people to sign up as possible so that they get those flat amounts. And then their goal is to not pay all of that money out. Okay, so they're hoping to get healthy people over the age of 65 who really don't need that much care, because Medicare doesn't distinguish. It's like, oh, this person's sick, so you'll get more money for them. This person's not been sick, so you get less money for them. No, they get X number of dollars per person who signs up, and so they take in all this money and hoping that you're not going to use too many services, and so they make money off of that. And so it is their goal
let me.
Oh, excuse me. What?
No, I'm sorry. We got a bad connection. I'm over here in Arizona. Probably Tommy knows that. But anyway, so in your opinion,
is it a better deal to be like, for a person that's over 65 to be on Medicare Advantage or to buy a supplement? What is your opinion on that?
Well,
It depends.
it depends on how sick you are. If there are and excuse the pun here, but the advantage of the Advantage plan is that you will not have any out-of-pocket expenses because they will cover you, and that's part of their agreement is you get sick, they will treat you, and you will have no out-of-pocket expenses. The downside to that is they're going to try to get you out of the hospital. They're going to provide as little care as they can get by with because it's coming out of their pocket. Mm-hmm. So generally, if you're not that sick, then an Advantage plan works great because they will cover you. They will spend some money on you, and it just simply it works better for you. Typically, your monthly fee for an Advantage plan is $0 because they get all of their money from Medicare. If you're sicker, though, the advantage of the Medicare plan is they will treat you more because the hospital's going to do what they want to do, and they have more freedom from Medicare and the supplement to do what needs to be done. I have had clients with the very same condition, very same situation, and the one on the Advantage plan will get less care, than the person on traditional Medicare typically. The downside to Medicare is you could have a substantial out-of-pocket expense if your Medicare supplement doesn't pay enough or you reach there is a end point to Medicare. Medicare says you can only have like 80-something days in a hospital or whatever. If you go past that, you could be looking at some very substantial money out of your pocket where you won't have that with the Advantage plan.
Yeah, so what you're basically saying is if you go to the hospital, you're gonna end up with a half-assed job. And by the way, I don't know about over there, but in Arizona, if you go see a specialist or something like that, it costs you $40 out of pocket with the Medicare Advantage.
Sure. Yeah. There are co-pays, but that's all that you'll pay. Whereas with Medicare, there's, depending on your supplement, you could have a copay, you could not have a copay, but there is an end to it. If you're really, really sick, you could have some substantial out-of-pocket expenses with traditional Medicare.
Well, that's kind of a drag, to hear that, but it doesn't surprise me, It's all about the money. They don't really care about the person, but I'm glad you explained it to me. Thank you very, very much. I was just wondering why they're pushing it so damn hard on the TV. Every time you turn it on, you can't hardly stand it anymore.
Right, all the time, yeah. All right, sir, thank you for calling.
You guys have a great day. Thank you again.
This past weekend. So, yeah, I was in Arizona. I was in Scottsdale for the National Academy of Elder Law Attorneys meeting and got to see all my buddies. Really the first time we've gotten together in person, and so it was really good and enjoyed seeing everybody and had some good food, and man, the weather out there is so different. It's hot. I mean, Saturday, it was right at 102 or so, but I was outside, and it's hot, but it's not
different.
Uncomfortable. It's a good kind of heat. It's very dry. It's very dry.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because there's very little grass out there. It's all pebbles and dirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Your landscaping
because it's so dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you go by Luke, or did you see Luke Air Force Base anywhere?
Didn't. I was just like you.
No, let it go. No, I'm teasing.
We have another call.
Yeah, we do, caller. They cut off there. Send them back in, Dave. Just hang on. I think they'll call right back. But,
okay.
All right.
yeah, one thing, you live in Arizona, you don't have to worry about mowing the yard much unless you want to.
Right.
And that means you water it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rocks are nice. They don't grow.
Okay, so level of care. So when a person is looking at needing some kind of care, there are actually 3 different levels. There's 2 levels of assisted living, and then there's nursing home, right?
Yeah, but there's a whole sector that you just totally bypassed.
All right, correct me.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm tough.
But I mean, like, when you're talking about long-term care, like either having to, have assistance, but before that, there's like all this stuff or all these different options that people kind of mistake for the other.
Okay.
And so the first, like, basic, just nothing, you don't need anything, but you're older, is going to be like a 55 and up community or a certain age category.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, the only thing you're guaranteeing is that you're not going to have a young family or some college kids living next door. And there's typically some kind of like POA membership for lawn and maintenance care.
Yeah, they typically do your lawn for you.
Yeah.
So
And then, so there's that, and that's all private pay. I mean, sometimes you can even purchase the property within that neighborhood. Didn't your mom live in one? Yeah.
Cinsa Village over by the Elm Springs Walmart.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, there's a caller.
Did you mark it?
Not yet. Good morning. Thanks for calling. How can we help you?
Hello, is that me?
That
That's
is you.
I hate to be nosy, but a guy called last week and said he couldn't get a hold of his employee.
Right.
Did he ever have an update?
He
Yes.
did. He called back at the end of the show and said that, the last time he knew that family was coming over to his house for Mother's Day. Apparently there was some kind of domestic violence issue and his employee got arrested and was in jail.
But everybody was okay.
But everybody was okay. There was no bad violence. But yes, he is physically okay, but legally he is facing some issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been wondering all week.
I'm so glad he called back and gave us an update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
All right, well, thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Apparently, during the show, we said,
Yeah.
call the police. And I guess when he called the police and said, I'm going to so-and-so's house, we're like, he's just down the hall here. So,
You want us to patch him through? No.
Yeah. No need to go to his house because we've got him just down the hallway here. So, yeah. So we laugh about it.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It is kind of sad, but thankfully, what he was thinking was the worst, obviously, and it was not the worst.
Right.
It was not good, but it was not the worst.
And
So,
everybody's intact. So
get a good lawyer.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
and some counseling.
And some counseling.
So, yes, back to our prepared topic for the day. Determining the appropriate level of care is kind of tricky and often misunderstood, or people just kind of walk into it like, I have no idea. I know mom needs help, but I have no idea, like, if she's nursing home level or if she's assisted living, and what's the difference.
Home health.
Or if it could just work with some in-home care. So I'm glad you said home health, because a very common misunderstanding is that home health and home care are the same things, and they are not. Home health is provided provided by licensed professionals who are therapists, from physical, occupational, or speech therapy, to licensed nurses and certified nursing assistants that come into the home on a short visit. I would say no more than an hour, typically, for a certain period of time that they determine.
Yeah, it's a short duration. I mean, it can be 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's generally not much over that.
Yeah, and it's usually like 2 to 3 times a week, and it's not an everyday thing, and your insurance will cover this. You do have to have a doctor's order for it, but just keep in your head, the way I kind of distinguish or help people understand the difference is that home health is prescribed by the doctor. Health, just think health care, and covered under your Medicare or Advantage plan or whatever.
Yep.
And then home care is more of a maintenance, ongoing provided service to people also in their homes, but it can be anywhere from 3 to 10 hours a week to 24/7 around the clock, but your insurance doesn't cover that. That's either private pay or Medicaid or long-term care insurance.
Correct. So let me just give a quick example to my previous caller about the difference between Advantage and Medicare. When I did home health PT with, if the person was on Medicare with a supplement, they would say, yeah, go see them, tell us what you find, and then we can work something out. And so I would go out and say, yeah, this person's going to need 3 times a week for 6 weeks. Here's my goals. Here's what I plan to do with them. And generally they're like, okay, fine. And if I got to the end of those 6 weeks and said, well, she got sick in the meantime, this happened, whatever, I need 2 more weeks, typically they're like, okay, that's fine. And I would go out 2 more weeks. If they were on an Advantage plan, the home health company would call the Advantage plan and say, here's the diagnosis, here's what's going on. They would tell me, you've got 9 visits. Okay? Do what you can, but you have 9 visits.
Yeah.
Don't call back. We will pay for 9 visits.
Right.
I say don't call back. I mean, if I couldn't get anywhere in those 9 visits, and something happened, we would call them and beg, but it was very rare. They're like, you got 9 visits and we're done. Yeah. Okay. Whereas the other person, three times a week for 6 weeks, that's what, 18 visits. And so there is a drastic difference between being on Medicare and being on an Advantage plan. They will treat you, but I'm not going to say what that guy said. He said it was half whatever. It's not half, it's just not as complete as with traditional Medicare.
And I'll also say that on the nursing home side, when we would get a referral from the hospital for a potential rehab patient who had an Advantage plan, first of all, they couldn't even think about sending us a referral unless we were an in-network provider. And then if we were networked with that provider, they would do, a pre-auth. They would make us pre-authorize a certain amount of days, just like you were talking about a certain amount of visits, based on, all the information you could give them. But, yeah, they were pretty picky. And if we saw that, okay, they pre-authed and approved for 12 days, we would also have to negotiate a daily rate, which I loved doing that, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Huh.
That was fun for me. I like to negotiate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. But anyway, so that was sometimes good, sometimes bad. But if you were approaching day 10 and thinking she's going to need more days, they could very easily come back after we requested it and say, no, we said 12 and we're sticking to 12, and do with it what you can, but that's it. So, and that was not uncommon. So that's another barrier, I think, or a con to having a plan like that, because first of all, it narrows your options for providers that are in network, and that it also kind of gives you the short end of the stick.
It does.
Can
you pull up Paul's number?
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook question. Says, good morning. You mentioned sometime on a previous show when I am getting on Medicare A and B and all the other letters, what do I need to make sure I'm on to include everything is covered? Is that an Advantage plan? I was thinking you had said another all-inclusive. So I can't answer that question. I don't know what your meds are. I don't know what your current condition is. I don't know that. I don't want to know that right now. But a good Medicare person that sells the insurance will sit down with you and go through that. And I would recommend Paul Livingston. And we'll put this in the, I'm sure Tricia will put this in the Facebook feed. But yeah, go ahead and get, he sells long-term or Medicare insurances, the Advantage plans, supplements, everything. And he is a registered nurse.
Yeah.
And so he understands medicine, he understands conditions, and better than most. And he can sit down with you and tell you all of the options and help you pick out the best plan.
That's
His
right.
number is
his office number is 479-368-0086. That's Paul Livingston.
he doesn't pay us to say that.
We'd let him. Gladly. Tell
we
him.
would let him say
Tell
that.
him
Yeah.
we sent you, please.
Tell him we sent you.
And
He needs
hey,
to
you should
the
sponsor
week.
the show.
Yeah. So anyway, but he's a really nice guy, and I just like the fact that he is a nurse and understands medicine quite well.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So that's 10 already
Man,
today.
we're just halfway
on
through.
fire. I know. Thank y'all so much. If you are just tuning in, you were listening to the Answers on Aging radio program. Todd and I do this show every Wednesday from 9 to 10. Quickest hour all week long.
It is.
I'm just here to tell you. And we've got 12 tuned in right now on our Facebook Live feed. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
I would love for that to be 100.
Wouldn't you?
That's my goal. Is
I know.
100.
You know what I started tracking today?
What?
I just lied. I put this on the wrong show. Whoops.
I was gonna say 10.
Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry. What is today? The 18th. Okay. I'm so sorry.
We've had six though.
Six.
That's pretty good.
That's good. But,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What else are you
keep it coming. I started tracking whenever I take a look-see at the Facebook live feed how many people are tuned in.
Okay, cool.
So I know people sometimes you come in and out, or hopefully a lot of you watch the entirety. But yeah. So I'll just take an average of those at the end of the show.
And I would be depressed by that, except when you go back and look at it, like a week later, there's been almost 100 people listen.
Hey, Miss Rose.
Hey.
Miss Rose is my old high school counselor, and her daughter is Dina. Todd and I.
And I've said it before. God bless you. You had a job of all jobs to be her
my
counselor
goodness.
in high school.
Yeah. I wasn't that bad. I can't speak for my brother. He can't defend himself, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
But
All right.
she knows
So
what I'm talking about.
we just talked about home care. Typically that's going to be your first, look at long-term care type situations.
Yeah. If you're
you're-
fortunate enough to stay in your home.
Right. You're in the hospital, you get to go back home, and they will send home health out to help you. If you're not safe in your home, or sometimes you just don't want to live at home, the next level up is independent living. Okay. That is a community, typically a hotel type
Kinda
looking
style.
place.
Yeah.
You have a room. Sometimes it'll have a small little kitchen, refrigerator, cooktop, whatever, a microwave. But generally, they cook for you at least 1 or 2 meals a day, sometimes 3 meals a day. But they don't provide anything for you.
Yeah.
You're paying just for the room and the meals and the utilities and things like that.
Laundry.
Yeah. And so people go there and live there for quite a while because they're tired of maintaining a house. They're tired of cooking and cleaning, and they just want to enjoy life. And so you go to a independent living community. And then if you do start to need some help, you can there at the independent living, you can again get home health. They will come there. And some independent living communities have a home health agency in their building.
Right.
And so they'll just, come up and see you. But then typically, if you need help bathing, dressing, things like that on an ongoing basis, you then move up to assisted living. And there are 2 levels of assisted living. And I swear, for most of my life, I thought there were 3 levels.
That's okay.
I'm not perfect. So there's 2 levels of assisted living. There's like, you need a little bit of help, and then you need quite a bit of help.
Right. And it really, so some assisted levels or assisted living facilities, If it doesn't have a level number out on the, at the end of the title, then it's just pretty basic. Like, you need to be able to get yourself in an emergency out of your room, out of the facility without physical assistance. And then if it's a level 2, then you require some type of physical assistance for some of your ADLs. Those are activities of daily living. And they also provide not 24/7 nursing all the time, but they do have 24/7 care staff, like certified nursing assistants or personal care assistants, who will be there around the clock. You've usually got like a call button or at least an emergency switch in your bathroom. And they're keeping check on you and helping take care of you, anywhere from just a little bit to, okay, this person needs physical assistance for all of her showers. And then there's also memory care, assisted living.
But on those, there is a nurse during the day.
Yes,
looking at your meds and making sure all of that's done. But 24/7, there are trained people there, as opposed to independent living where you just got someone sitting in the front office answering the phone.
Giving tours.
Yeah,
maybe guiding some activities, maybe.
Yeah,
but
maintenance people, fixing things, whatever. There is no one there 24/7 to help you, whereas in assisted living there is.
Yes.
And I like your definition of the lower level. You've got to be able to get out of the building by yourself. Upper level, you need some assistance, but not much.
Right.
And then a full-fledged nursing home is your total care.
Yeah.
Up to total care.
You can be. Yeah, you can be. You don't have to be, though. And I think that's kind of the tricky part for families to figure out. One thing that I always encourage families to do when they're considering the right move and right level is, take into consideration that even us as, healthy younger adults, well, I'm a younger adult, I had to poke fun at your age.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay. I can run further than you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I could probably beat you in Indian leg wrestling.
Probably.
Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, but that's kind of the tricky part. And so you've got to consider, though, what happens when a huge change takes place. You usually feel the brunt of that stress and that change and all the anxiety associated with it in your physical health. And when you couple that with whatever is already going on with mom or dad, you need to expect a decline in their condition. Now, not that it's going to be permanent, because it's not always, but don't be surprised when, or don't go up and, get all upset when a move takes place from home into a long-term care facility and their condition declines, and blame it on the facility, because it's pretty inevitable that they're going to go downhill a little bit just because of the actual real stress caused by that transition or that change in life. Now, I have seen so many people just flourish once they have gone from living alone, not getting the care that they need, not socially interacting, having no stimulation whatsoever, and they're pitiful and like knocking on death's door, but then they get into a long-term care setting with all the right things in place to help meet their needs, and they just bloom like a peony.
Yes, like a peony. What I have found when people are looking and comparing, just so you know, the line between higher level assisted living and nursing home is very blurry.
It is gray. It's
very,
gray.
very blurry and gray, because there are people in nursing homes who probably could be in that higher level of assisted living, but for financial reasons.
Yeah.
And there are people in that higher level of assisted living who probably needs to be in a nursing home, but they just like it. The reason people do that is here in Northwest Arkansas, we are very blessed to have a very large supply of nice assisted living facilities. The atmosphere in an assisted living facility is drastically different than a nursing home.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
In the assisted living, it is more of a home type, apartment type living. They will have big fireplaces. They will have pool tables. They will have events, social events, hotelish like amenities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas in a nursing home, and just because of what they do, your clientele have much more dementia. They are much more higher level of care. And so you'll have the people who are unconscious, or just very vegetative. And, there's just a lot more going on in a nursing home. And so people don't like to go to nursing homes until it's just absolutely necessary. And so if you are looking and you're kind of in between, I can promise you're going to probably like assisted living more than you're going to like a nursing home. Because the clientele are higher level and not as sick and up and going, and the staff there is much more able to help you have a social life, whereas in a nursing home, it's more we're truly caring for your medical needs.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And it's more institutionalized feeling. Like when you were talking about the differences, and when you walk into an assisted living, I can't help but just think of the Meadows assisted living in Bentonville. Hey, Megan.
Is she on?
No.
Okay.
But
she may listen.
She does. And it's just so cozy and inviting, and I always would strive to give people the same kind of vibes when I was running the nursing home. And I mean, we tried, but we couldn't do it with the facility structure, so to speak.
Sure.
We had to do that with our staff and the music and the, ambiance. And so it's just a different feel, but there are definitely, a lot of needs out there for all these different levels. And it really just depends truly on your specific condition and financials. I know I used to hate it when we would have I would call him walkie-talkie resident who was super high functioning, but had just enough dementia to pass the nursing assessment for Medicaid to get into the nursing home. And you knew she didn't need to be there.
Right.
But, and she was kind of like an extra worker, because she's just high functioning, and it's just like, is that bad for her? I don't know.
Well, and the reason we talk about financial is because not all nursing homes take Medicaid. Okay. Not all assisted livings take Medicaid, and actually very few of them take Medicaid. So, if you're broke, then you've got to go into one of the very few assisted living facilities that take Medicaid. And there's some nice ones. Don't think, it's a Medicaid facility, so it's nasty. It's not. I mean, some of our favorite assisted living communities do take Medicaid. And so you don't, but some of the really nice ones typically don't. And sometimes people do have to go into a nursing home strictly for financial reasons, because the assisted living Medicaid beds are full, and they just need this level of care and they can't pay for it, and so therefore they get into a nursing home.
That's right. I just wanted to say hi to Sally Mae. We actually, that's not her real name, by the way.
Okay.
But she's tuned in for a long time on Facebook Live, and I had a consultation a few weeks ago, and I always ask them, or try to always ask them, how did you hear about The Office? And she said, well, the radio show. I'm like, oh, okay. Not thinking she's on Facebook. and then she was like, I'm Sally Mae. And I was, oh, okay. But we referred her out to Wes Doss, and she said it was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, Wes Doss.
Yeah.
He's my buddy.
Yeah.
So West is an attorney who loves to go to court.
Yeah.
I do not like to go to court, and so therefore, if you call our office and we figure out that you're going to court, we send you to our litigation buddies, and I am glad that worked out.
Yeah, that's great. So we have just a little under 20 minutes left on today's show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This
20.
is 15, sorry. I don't know. Don't ask.
Millennials and analog clocks don't get along.
I know how to tell time.
My daughter doesn't.
Well, I'm young enough to be your daughter, but I'm not. I'm just...
You're just on it today.
Goodness.
It's fine.
Hey, Tommy, I think we have another call.
Get
Get in here.
Let me see if it's not for us.
Is it? Anyway, give us a call, 636-7979 or 1-800-767-7979. You can also check us out on our live Facebook feed of the show. If you can't catch all of the show on the radio, you can check it out on the Answers on Aging Facebook page.
Okay.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for calling. How can we help you?
Morning. I just want to say thank you for your show. It's very informative. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. I don't know if y'all have an answer. My wife, she's had some issues with her back for a long time, and she's retired, but she's on that Obamacare stuff right now, and she's trying to get a procedure done, and she has a Medicare Advantage, and her doctors have approved it. She has 3 or 4 doctors that she's seen that approved this procedure, but the insurance keeps denying it. Is there any recourse we have to that on that? I don't know if y'all have an answer or not, but I'm just curious.
I mean, you can appeal the denial, I guess.
Well, we've done that too. And as of yesterday, they were supposed to give a decision, but we haven't heard anything, so we keep seeing it's denied again. So can someone sue an insurance company, or is that possible, or is that just barking up a tree?
I think you're just barking up a tree.
Yeah.
That is one of the issues with Advantage plans is they are,
Right.
They've been given excuse me,
X number of dollars
to cover her, and they've decided, it's got to be in their contract and to say we're not going to cover that. I would seriously call the person that you used, if you used an agent to buy that plan, I would call them and say, hey, here's what's going on. If you just call directly to the company and signed up with them, they are not going to be much help.
Right.
We gave out the name of Paul Livingston. He is a person here in Northwest Arkansas who sells Medicare products, and you might speak with him and see if he knows a good option for that. You can switch in December.
You can't switch mid-year, though.
Well,
You've got to wait till December.
unless certain things happen.
Yeah, there are
certain exceptions to that rule, but Paul would be able to walk you through that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all very much.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
That's okay.
It
Yeah.
stinks. Insurance companies, man.
I know. Do you have another call, Tommy? Okay. So yeah, that's great. We've had 8 so far, so we've got time to take just a couple more. Don't be shy. Give us a call. You can also get more information, especially related to senior or elder law and senior related issues by giving us a call at Todd's office. It's in Bentonville, but we serve all of Arkansas and even branch out into Oklahoma. So that number is 479-601-4119, and you will get to talk to Fabiana first. She's in Argentina. She's so sweet.
She is.
She's the sweetest. But she makes you feel like you're right there with her. And then I also wanted to share something that Tricia sent over for questions about Medicare. There's also a local provider whose name is Scott Wyden, Widen. The business is called NWA Medicare Plans, and you could get information from him by calling 479-531-0910.
Yeah, I just learned about him. And
I did
so,
too, yeah.
and sorry about that. Is his first name Scott, did you say?
Yes.
Scott?
Wyden.
Sorry about that, Scott. But yes, there are people out there who just focus on this and are really good at it. And so, yeah, give Scott a call. And we need to have him on the show.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Trisha,
Did you hear that, Trish?
can you work on that? Yeah, let's.
She's like, sure, let me add that to the list.
Yeah, let's get them on the show because, yeah, particularly in December, when it is open enrollment, we have a lot of questions about Medicare and changing and what should we do. But it seems like all the time throughout the year there are questions about Medicare. And so, yeah, we need to get him on. Tommy's over here showing off his dog bites on Facebook. So another reason to go to Facebook, Answers on Aging, you can see Tommy, who truly has a face for radio.
That's mean.
That's it.
I didn't say that, Tommy.
I know.
I wouldn't
Particularly
say that.
today with a dog bite. Yeah, so anyway.
Any other way that I may need that picture later.
You know what I think people need to know about?
What?
Jasper's upcoming adventure. So
All right.
I have a dog named
Cover
Jasper.
the ears of your children.
It's not. I'm not going to be dirty. It's not dirty.
Okay.
No, me and Sarah, we know these things.
Yeah. So I've called Dollar Trade multiple times looking for a dog to breed my dog Jasper with because I love him, although sometimes I hate him.
You almost killed him this week.
I almost killed him this past week. We had an episode where he broke my crock pot and ate the whole pot roast.
I saw that.
Anyway, before that happened, I was actively searching for a dog to breed him with, and because we want to get him neutered, but also would like to know if we want a dog later and he passes away, I can get something like him.
Or you kill him. Passes away. Air quotes.
Goes to the farm. But anyway, so I've called Dollar Trade. I've talked to Tommy about it multiple times because he has some dog stuff and more than just a bite on his face. And he hooked me up, or his daughter hooked me up with Jasper's new to-be mate.
Hey.
So he's going to be breeding with a standard blonde poodle named Helen at the end of the month, and we are just so excited.
Yeah.
And they're both going to the beauty shop.
Oh, boy, they're getting haircuts, so when they meet, they won't be
they'll
able to
all
say.
pretty.
My,
I really don't think they care.
I know.
yeah,
But
Dogs
I just,
don't care.
that's
I
cool
think
of them.
it's so funny.
It is. It is.
It's-
Jasper and Helen.
They sound like an old married couple, old married couple.
Jasper
Yeah.
and Helen.
But anyway, so to be continued. I'll let y'all know if she delivers 3 live puppies, we'll
3.
get a stud fee.
Okay. So, got to have at least 3.
Yeah.
6 or 7 is what you'll get, probably. I'm averaging.
Right.
'Cause I know those poodles, they have quite a few. Here we go. We got a call here.
Hey, caller, thanks for calling. What can we do for you?
Yes, Todd, I have a sister that passed away, and she had 2 daughters.
Okay.
And then she left a will to the one daughter.
Uh-oh.
Okay. She passed away last week without a will. So who would be next in kin? Would it be the other daughter?
Phew, goodness. Did the deceased daughter have children?
No.
Interesting.
And No,
Have
daughter.
you probated the mom's estate yet?
No, she hasn't done anything. She has just been upset and hasn't done anything. In fact, she's got to go down to the funeral home and sign papers to have her sister cremated today.
Wow. So when you say she, you're talking about the
Niece. I'm talking about my niece.
Okay, the surviving child of your sister. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. She probably. What all did your sister own?
She owned a home and 2 cars.
Okay.
And, some guns and jewelry and a bunch of personal things like that.
Okay. Have her call the office. I would like to.
Well, I give her your phone number at the office on George Street. Are you still on George Street?
I am not on George Street. I'm in Bentonville.
Oh, you're in Bentonville now. I need
Correct.
to call her and tell her that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The phone number is 479.
Let me look here. I think I have your number in Bentonville, Sarah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I live at the patio homes, and when we first moved in, Sarah was here and talked to us.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's see, what is the number again?
479-601-4119.
Okay. Okay, Todd.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have her call me, and we'll just look at it, and particularly look at that house and see what needs to be done. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
I'll give her the information.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome. All right. Was there...
No, that's it there, Tom.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that's a situation, and again, we talk all the time about wills and how wills are not the best estate planning tool in Arkansas because that means you're going to go through probate. But hopefully we can look at this deed and hopefully figure something out regarding how this house can go and hopefully avoid probate if at all possible. So, all right, Sarah's back.
Hello.
Tomorrow is Roger's Wellness. Oh, I'm so glad I remember that, Trisha.
We love them.
I remembered. So, yes, tomorrow is Coffee with the Pro from 9 until 11. Please come out and see us. Sarah and I will be there. And, special treat, the other Sarah, my daughter-in-law, will be there with my newest grandson.
I know. I might not be paying attention as much.
His name is Heston Todd, so he is H. Todd also. Come see my newest addition to my family.
He's beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Sweet baby.
We'll cover some elder law.
Or talk about babies.
Let's talk about no
puppies.
Please come see me, okay? Come out to Rogers Wellness Center tomorrow from 9 until 11, and you get coffee, you get donuts, and
you get to learn some stuff.
You get to meet us and learn some stuff, and it's fun. It truly, a lady told me the other day, she said, I was so nervous coming in here because you're a lawyer and I know how lawyers are. And she said, I was really surprised. This was actually fun. And so I do make it as fun as possible. I don't show slides. I don't have an agenda. You truly ask questions and I answer them and we discuss things. And it's truly a fun time from 9 until we're done. Yeah. But it's, I typically need to leave there by 11. And so, yeah, Tommy.
Oh, 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. And of course, someone's calling, but yes, please.
I'm counting it.
Please call back next.
That's 10.
10. Okay.
I'll answer it.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for listening every week. Don't forget about our podcast. If you've never listened to a podcast, let Answers on Aging be your first one.
Yes.
And if you need elder law, call 479-601-4119.
Have a great week.
All right, we'll see y'all. You're listening to KURM Rogers, Springdale, Bentonville, KURM.